Greetings everyone! I'm sorry I should, this sit in front of the camera and say greetings everyone. So after like 7 or more years of YouTube and after 872 videos, I'm still talking about my random stuff. So currently I'm talking about the 9 wishes, and in my last this video I talked about the desire, and I would like to continue my talk, this mixing with this all this stuff. So today is Friday, and my wife and daughter went to visit the mom's place. She always does that. So after this 7 years, my life is still the same. I'm having a daughter, wife, and this apartment, and this 7 years ago the apartment was basically empty, but it is still empty, and there is no much this greater this change in my life. I mean, I did not become rich. I'm still the this salary man. In this, I work for my father, and yeah. So what all these things to do with the desire? So if you have desire, of course you need to go forward your desire, this become rich, and this all this stuff. But it seems this I'm some kind of this minimalist. This why I'm not having this second child, why I'm not this making my apartment little bit bigger, 2-room apartment, like for many years. It is because if I'm going to have a second child, I'm going to make my apartment bigger, I think. But why I'm not having this second child? It is because I'm trying to find some kind of a middle ground between the this desires of my this family. Okay, I'm going to try this talk about the family drama. So after like 3 years, when my daughter was 3 or 4, my parents started to talk about this. What about the second child, etc., etc. And they said this, we will this double this your salary, and this all this stuff. So I can claim that I'm this mentally not this manipulated by my parents, but financially manipulated by my parents. So personally, I find myself this strong man who does not get manipulated by the parents. I mean, I do not listen to my the desires of my mother. I do not listen to the desires of my sisters, etc., etc. For example, you see, my elder sister, I have one elder sister, she knows English. So she watched my YouTube videos, etc., etc., and she reported it to my parents and saying, this your son is doing all this crazy shit on the internet. She often claims that I'm some kind of a dumb fuck. So yeah, she often this claims this this you're talking about all this kind of this shit on internet, but you cannot this control your wife, you cannot make the second baby, all this kind of stuff. And I usually say it's none of your business. Yeah, because I'm not the one who listens listens what their this desires and all this stuff. So my mother was this quite this strong on this this stop your YouTube, stop this this embarrassing stuff on the internet. So I also said it's not not one of your this business. It's my private life, and I have this freedom of speech and stuff. Father did mention this when I was in high school, meeting my teacher and talking with her privately. And one of my teachers, this told him that this they would like to offer a teaching job. This making me some English teacher. I don't know, some kind of this teacher. They will this give you some materials and this allow you to study, and basically you this how to say, repeat that material to the students, and if there is some problem I will go and ask how to approach this etc. stuff. But teacher said, well, this we would like to this offer your son this teaching job, but unfortunately your son has this kind of this not standard thinking, and he do not listens to this others' opinions, and he seems to be someone who is hard to work with. Something like that. So it's like this. I usually say, yeah, teacher, I think you are wrong, like that. So yeah. So why I'm not having the second child? Well, it is because my wife does not want to have the second child. It's very simple. So it seems I've been manipulated by my this wife, and I'm like protecting her from my parents. This like it's been 10 years, 11 years. Why there is no child and something like that. So I say it's none of your business. We are together. We are doing well, something like that. So I usually this listens what this what kind of life my father had, what kind of life my this grandparents had. For example, I have this little nose. I'm the one who has a little nose in the family. I got this little nose from my grandmother, father's side grandmother. And my mother claimed that my grandmother had this some kind of bad life, because my grandfather dumped her with the 5 children and married with the younger woman, and she had to feed and clothe the children, and she had some kind of this bad life. She was a grumpy old lady. So thinking that this she had this lot of children, and this feeding them was hard, and some kind of this bad husband dumping her, all this this stuff is this influenced me. And also I think about my mother's side grandmother, from whom I learned this this myths about the Irlik Khan, all this this some kind of fairy tales and stuff. And I also hear that this when she died, this when she was very old, before this she died, she said that this I had some regrets in my life, that I did not go to school. So my mother's side grandmother did not go to school. It doesn't mean she was illiterate or something like that. So she wanted to go to this greater university. She wanted to become someone this very educated and something like that. So she had that desire. So when my wife claimed that she wanted to go to this after our child was 1 or 2 years old, she wanted to go to school for 4 years. So I thought it was a waste of time, waste of money, but still I allowed her to go to school. So she went to study Japanese. Why she need Japanese, I don't know. So after that, she went to receive education on some kind of this government stuff, something like that. So she also wasted another 4 years. So totally she went to school for 8 years. So she now she claims that she is so educated and all this stuff. But I feel she has no, how to say, desire to have some land, have some farm, and to build a house and something like that. So since she does not have such these desires, I do not this how to say, invest in this stuff. So I secretly keep some this savings from her, and this and I'm hoping that someday she is going to this say now it's the time to have the second baby, something like that. So I'm I'm the one who is trying to find the middle ground of all these desires, or all these things that this push me, poke me, this you do this stuff, you go there, and this do all this kind of stuff. So yeah, this is this, how to say, sometimes you need to, how to say, ignore some desires, ignore some things, and this you have to find your this own way. But it is impossible for me to find my this own way without my father. My father is very independent man. He claims he never gets manipulated by my mother, and he claims that this weak man usually listens to his wife. But I suspect that my father often listens to my mother, and he is the one who this bought me apartment, gave me a job, and said this get out and leave with your wife, something like that. So it's my father who keeps me somewhat independent, and he somehow trust me that I'm doing good stuff on the internet, not I'm doing all the this bad stuff. My mother is this did cry and said this, how shameful it is that our son is doing this all kind of stupid this talk on the internet, something like that. So yeah, it's going to be a long talk, because somehow this YouTube allows me to put like very long videos. I don't know why. I don't know why I have this such a this rights. Maybe it is because I've been here for a long time. So yeah, I do YouTube not for money. I do it for fun, and I do it for of course respect and love and likes. And I have to be honest, one of my this internet friends, a Serbian friend, was asking me about my last video in Mongolian. What were you talking about, and why did you show the Serbian hat when you were this talking? So I did talk about this, what do shamans put on their this hats or the helmets, something like that. It can be made from iron, it can be simply be a hat decorated with the feathers or something like that. So depending on this shaman's faith, the hat can be different. And I told them to not put the Hindu or Buddhist the stupas on their this hats. The problem with the New Age shamanism, you have this shaman hat with the metal stupa, this on the head, something like that. So I told them that this you usually put your faith on top of your head, or you design something related with this hat with something like that. So speaking of this hat, this is a very well this recognizable hat. This is just a military hat. Even Mongolian army this uses this hat as a military hat. I think this has somewhat this little bit difference, like this it's more this horny. It has horn, something like that. This is a well-known Christian hat. My feeling is that this does not sit like should not sit like that. I think this this hat should sit like this. Why? It is because it's this mini Pope hat. So this is a this reminds of this Christian this Pope's hat. It even has this this Trinity in the front, this something like that. So all this needs is this two ribbons or tassels like a Pope, and you have this fish mount like this. Some joke it's a vagina. So Pope hat, mini Christian hat. There's a saying, our hat, our man, something like that. But I'm not into this Christianity. It's like this saying, oh, there's one God, true one, only Lord. This is some kind of this, in my opinion, this mental disorder. Oh, there's a this great God, there's one only, and this He's great, or this like this, and then you have this fundamentalists, then you have these Muslims, and this Islam is basically later version of a Christianity, in my opinion. So yeah, where I was, desire. After that, what? There can be this mercy, mercy, idea of mercy. We would like to this create a society with merciful society, or we say inrungui. Word inrungui, merciful, goes with the word khair, the care, and this merciful, care and merciful, something like that. So what can I say about mercy? There can be a lot of these ideas of mercy, and recently I've been talking about the great this yasa of the Chinggis Khan, the great law of the Chinggis Khan. Personally, I do not this, how to say, follow this this law. This you can marry with the sisters, you can have as many wives as you want, only if they're this parents, this father is allowed you. You go and ask the this someone this, will you give me your daughter, and you take it, and this basically you can have as many wives as you want. This is the law of Chinggis Khan, and this is all according to his life experience, and he claims that this you always have to be preparing for war, and there is no such thing as allies, and everything must be conquered, and this law cannot be changed because it's the law came from the heavens, something like that. This is basically this Mongolian Sharia law and something like that. So yeah, but we it's been a long time we did not this follow this stuff, and we developed own ideas of society, how it should be function, and there should be the 9 wishes, and all 9 wishes is to create merciful, charitable, and this all this this peaceful and stuff society and stuff. And speaking of this great Yasa of Genghis Khan, if you can this commit a crime against this law, but if you're a nobleman, you are this dismissed, you are this you are not punished, you are this exiled, something like that. So this is explained as this you do not kill your elites, something like that. You do not kill the intellectuals, something like that. If some intellectual is writing a poem against the communist government and stuff, criticizing this high this high-ranking people and stuff, these people must not be killed. These people should be exiled, something like that. So it's a form of mercy. It's also this belief that some kind of this in old times you say nobleman, but nowadays you say celebrity, or this some kind of well-known person must not be, how to say, treated harshly like common people. This idea always this existed, and this you do not kill these smart people. Something like that. What else? Mercy. Well, it's been a long time, and I hope you enjoyed this talk. And it's not this glazed, but I can this enjoy this cup. Well, that's pretty much for today, and thanks for watching.